Hey guys, it's Dustin, the Pro Picker here, and today I'm going to share with you some of my recent thrift store trips. Starting today off at the Salvation Army. So this was actually right after my most recent bin sale video. I hit a couple thrifts and came in here. And I see some dolls and decide, hey, I'm going to grab these because $4.99 a package, why not? We've got the Raggedy Ann here. Some classics. I don't know much about this miscellaneous doll, but I believe it was $1.99. And I saw something interesting in the shoes here. So these are like waterproof New Balances. They were marked at $19.99, but I did look into them, and we listed them for $80 based off of sold comps. They will be a little bit heavier than the normal shoes to ship, so will probably be more around the $12-15 range. I saw this Norditrack. I wanted it for myself. It was at $199. The only reason I didn't get it was I didn't feel like going and renting a truck, hauling it around, and trying to find a place to put it. She was putting out some new books and was about to go hit up the DVDs, and I found this Paul McCartney set while I was chatting with her there, and $1.99 for it, so pretty decent. And as I come back, they had put out a Sony combo unit, not a DVD recorder. This one's not insane by any stretch of the imagination, but if it works, I should get 65, and it was priced at just $8. People ask me about, do I test things? Yes, I do, and I will hook that up to a television, testing both the DVD and the VHS side, and I would say probably 1 in 10 units end up not working. It's just the cost of doing business. It's one of the reasons I really wouldn't advise paying a ton for those sort of units. But when you can find them cheap, you can definitely make a profit with them. Alright guys, so this is another trip into the same Salvation Army store. And in the showcase area, they had all of these pots and pans. So this is actually Thermo Sentinel. So let's talk about this. When you look these up on eBay, you'll see a few individual bad condition pieces listed, no sets listed whatsoever, and then there's one set that's sold, so like, and it's sold for like $300 and it has a few less pieces than this, so I'm like, oh my god, this could be worth it, or I could be stuck on this forever. Did that sold comp, did the person even actually pay? Was it a return? Did the person get fed up and not relist it? Who knows? So I didn't really know like if I should go for this or not, but I ended up putting them all in the cart, and I decided that I was going to pull the trigger on it. It's a really clean set with a lot of unique pieces for what brand it is. So I figured I'd go ahead and take a shot on it. This is a pretty decent risk, and I wouldn't advise like maybe new people necessarily jumping in and doing this, especially if you need to rapidly get your money back. Because I don't know how long it's going to take to move these. I don't even know from a pricing strategy how this is going to go, how much I'm going to get. I do dig into it a little bit more on Terapeak when I get home, and I'll get into that a little bit in a second here. But as you can see, the whole set fills up my cart pretty quickly. Pretty wild find with that Thermo Sentinel. Ended up getting out of there for $75 for the whole set. So I wanted to mention something, like there's only one comp, and if you filter it, Thermo Sentinel here, by sold listings, you'll see $299.99 plus $49.99 shipping. There's less pieces than on mine. However, there's only one sold comp. There's no other sets like that for sale. There's a few loose pieces without lids and maybe a couple with lids or whatever. However, just keep in mind that when you see one sold comp for something, you are kind of taking a risk. So was that sold to an actual buyer that paid and it shipped and everything went okay? Did it end up being a return and then it got messed up in the return process, or the guy was just fed up and decided not to relist it? So you got to take sold listings with a grain of salt sometimes. You got to take all data with a grain of salt when it's not presented in full. I'm going to get home and look at Terapeak, which goes back further through eBay, and kind of see if I can get a better idea on it when I get to the house. But I'm excited about the find, and I think we'll do pretty well on it. I don't know what we'll actually get. Hopefully we get something like that sold comp, because, you know, I mean, it is a fair amount of work to bubble wrap all that up and get it shipped out and everything. And you want to make sure it is worth your time, but I think we'll be okay at that price point. So I've been asked this a few times. So how can you utilize Terapeak to help when it comes to pricing on eBay? So I only use it at a very high level on occasion. Usually the biggest use I'll use it for is if I see the line and best offer accepted. You can go into Terapeak, compare the listings, and find out what they actually paid, and that is helpful to me. The other thing I'll do is if there's not any sold comps, or there are very few sold comps, I'll go into Terapeak to figure out older sold comps past 90 days so I can get a better idea of things. Similar to why people utilize WorthPoint, except Terapeak's included for all eBay users. Used to be just for stores, I believe. But anyways, you access Terapeak by clicking into My eBay and selling. And yeah, you can see there's been some sales slump lately, but that's just that time of year. Not a big deal, because we're gonna get some listings up and turn that around. So here we go. You got Thermo Sentinel, and we're just gonna type that in. That's it. And you're gonna see like an average sold price of $299 here. And you'll see this $299, $49.99. But what I actually did was I filtered by only the last 90 days, which is silly, and that's my bad. So now we can pull up more. This will go past 90 days. This is the last 365 days. And scrolling through here, you can kind of get an idea of like what some individual pieces have went for. Here again is that $299 plus $49.99 sold comp. Here's another set. You can't click into it because it's not saved on eBay anymore as an actual listing. This is just like the top level data. But you're gonna see that that went for $200 plus $40 shipping. It's less pieces than what's included with mine. So I'm gonna go with a strategy of asking high and narrowing it down over time if I keep sitting on it, and just see how that works. So when it comes to the price breakdown or profit recap for today's video, I will not be covering the pots and pans from the Thermal Sentinel because I don't know how much I'm actually going to get for them. I laid out $75, not knowing what I'm going to sell something for, just hoping I sell it for more than that. So we'll find out, I guess. And I'll let you guys know in a future video when and if they finally do sell. Alright guys, real quick run-in to the American Thrift here, and I saw some things in the showcase area that I wanted to check out, including this KitchenAid Professional food processor. So there's some pretty decent comps out there for this one. If you look at this comp here, you'll see the best offer, but you go into Terapeak, it's $100 shipped. The last one of these Cuisinarts that sold went for about $75 shipped. However, that sold in September. There are no active listings. I go ahead and take both of them for $15 each. Then I see this motorcycle helmet. I don't even think it's been used. I'll still sell it as pre-owned, but they seem to really be into $15 as their price point today. I do go ahead and pick this up as well. we should get around 70 to 75 shipped on it. I've been doing pretty well on typewriters actually lately, believe it or not. This one I picked up for $10. I don't really like getting the sub $100 ones too much, but this one should go for about $75 shipped, maybe a touch more. I think that's about what we have it listed for. We did get it tested and everything before listing as usual. The first Homedics massage wand that I grabbed, that one I couldn't pay 10 on, but this model right here I can. We'll be getting roughly $45 for that shipped. And this Rock Band pedal was priced at $5 and looking at about $30 shipped on it. Alright guys, so I think that was some pretty interesting trips to the thrift store. Got some pretty basic bread and butter items, and honestly, probably one of the wildest pots and pan sets I've ever picked up. As mentioned earlier, I'm going to do a profit breakdown, not including that second trip to the Salvation Army. So we'll only be discussing the first trip to the Salvation Army and the I guess third trip of the video, which is the American Thrift trip. And that's all we'll be doing for the profit breakdown today, just because I really don't know what I'm going to sell that pots and pan set for, and I want to keep at least some semblance of accuracy with the numbers I'm about to discuss. If you haven't already and you've enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing. Really would appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. And we're going to get into the numbers here. So our total list price for everything from the first and third trip of today's video will be $564.44. Our shipping, and we're treating all these listings like they're free shipping listings. Most of them will be. And so we'll be deducting shipping, which is going to be an estimated $110. We're looking at an estimated fees being paid to eBay that will be deducting of $73.38. And of course, we have to subtract our cost of goods sold, which between the two thrift store visits we're covering here, that will be $120.34. So that's going to leave us a potential profit that we hope to make once everything sells through, if it even does, of $260.72 before paying taxes, which is not too shabby. It's pretty decent. The content of the thrift store runs without the pots and pans are kind of missing any of those like big home runs or anything. However, again, like it's very hard to narrow down exactly how much I'm gonna get on those. So that's just why I'm not covering that. I want to thank everybody so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. The support lately has been crazy. Thank you very much for that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.